The French President, Emmanuel Macron, is on a state visit to the UK, and the royals rolled out the red carpet last night with Prince Charles putting on a bit of a show.
Oh Seigneur Dieu, a-t-elle dit, c'est assez pour une fois.
Oh, très bien, Jane.
Très bien.
That was très bien. Very good. Very, very good. Were you impressed?
Jane, j'habite à Londres. J'ai ni frère ou ni sœur. Je suis un enfant unique. That was my French O-level set piece. But, you know, I mean, obviously I'm an only child, so that bit on the end, but if everybody else had to talk about their brothers and sisters, but we all went in and said exactly the same thing. The examiner must have been so bored.
Did you not Je voudrais un sandwich de jambon?
Everyone
yes,
got that was probably
that
in
was
there as well.
I
think mine was fromage, actually. Mine was fromage. And I did a lot of visiting the local église and the bibliothèque, you know, church, library, etc. But, you know, it's funny, isn't it? Because Macron did a speech in English as well, and some commentator today said it was quite good, but then towards the end he became a bit Inspector Clouseau. And it is so difficult to speak in another language, as Charles has just shown, but I think there's something very sexy about somebody that can speak more than one language, but fluently, not like we speak.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, they could say whatever they want.
Don't... Oh, no, I don't find it... I mean, I
don't find it sexy?
No, not really. No, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? I mean, I don't... No, I sort of think... You know, I think that one of the worst things is... I remember a friend of mine actually had a passionate affair with this Greek waiter when she was in Greece one summer. And then Vangelis decided he wanted to come back to the UK and, you know, see her in the winter when he was no longer a water ski instructor. And when he got to the UK, he was sort of white and pale. He had this really strong Greek accent. He barely spoke any English at all. He was wearing an outfit that she didn't like at all when he turned up on her doorstep. And it's that thing of things that seem exotic when you're abroad, but imported back home don't. So it's a bit like President Macron's speech, you know, that it's wonderful that he's speaking in English like that, but it is very hard not to think Peter Sellers.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose on a state visit you've got to make the effort, haven't you? But I remember talking about my French O-level because I mean, I failed and then had to retake it and whatever. And my mum was like, right, come on, I'll take you to France for the day. What she actually wanted to do was go on a booze cruise. You know, the old days when you had to get on a ferry and then go to some, like, warehouse and buy your cheap booze. But she went, like, come on. So she's like, right, you're going to speak in French the whole time, you know. So I get off the ferry and she's like, right, ask them where the warehouse is or whatever, or the market. So I was like, excusez-moi, est-ce qu'il y a un marché près d'ici? And this bloke went, I don't know, love, I'm from Birmingham. And that was it.
That happens with French people as well. Like, you go to all the trouble of saying, what did you say a moment ago? You know, je veux un chaperon, baguette, s'il vous plaît. And they're like, so you want some bread? Why not just say so? And you think, I've just really humiliated myself and you're dissing me.
But I do think it's a lovely thing to make an effort.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's just basics, please and thank you. So I think that's a really nice thing to do if you're abroad.
What amazes me is
we are
people...
quite lazy here to learning languages.
Yeah.
We are, because really you go anywhere and people speak English.
Yeah.
So naturally
we don't need to. Anyway,
I think we're quite bad.
There's a friend, one of Kira's friends speaks Italian and Spanish fluently.
Fabulous.
Well, can I get her to do it? When we went to Spain, I was going, go on. Like that, and she was mortified. She's like, "No, I'm not doing it."
Well, it's a confidence thing, though. I think to have the confidence to get it wrong and not care, and that is actually probably the best way to learn.
She wouldn't have got it wrong, though. She's fluent.
But I think that's why English people, British people, aren't particularly good at languages, because I think we're so self-conscious as a nation. You know, that whole, like, got to seem like a British person, that we're afraid to make kind of fools of ourselves. I've got my best friend, she speaks 5 languages. She just slips in and out of them like new knickers. It's really annoying.
Weirdly, though, it's funny how the GCSE French thing, it sticks with you forever because you've obviously rehearsed it so much in your head.
O-level, I'm older than you.
Same thing.
GCSEs didn't exist.
Well, I was a j'habite à Irlande du Nord.
You're really getting on my nerves.
Both of them.
Merci.
Irlande du Nord.
Irlande du Nord.
What's that mean?
Northern Ireland. You see, I taught you something.
There's
You'll be
nothing,
able to-
though, that
I can say 1
highlights,
to 10 in Chinese.
how society has changed, I think, more than, like, the stories that you were told during your... Because we would have been... well, you're a bit younger than me, aren't you? We would have been around the same time.
so.
We had Monsieur and Madame Martin. This was in Ireland in the 70s. And Monsieur Martin, he used to go... faire le travail tous les jours, and then he would come home exhausted, and Madame Martin would have been at home baking, and, you know, and I mean, it's so 1950s. It's really unbelievable.
No, of course. Just before we go to the break, did you just say you could count to 10 in
Chinese, I think.
Go on then. Are you sure you can? Because I'm quite scared you might say something else.
I'm quite worried.
Yet ye sam se no tabagaustap.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Are you sure that was 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
It's very
Ye
fast.
sam se no tabagaustap.
Well,
Impressive.
as we
you
discussed,
see?
I have no idea what she said. I trust that she did it correctly. Well done, Colleen.
Thanks.